Okay, so we have the Howard Richards clip? We want to talk a little bit about Mizzou Rock because Mizzou is taking some with 23 wins over the last couple of years, taking some unfair hits locally. We are Mizzou fans. I didn't go to Mizzou, but I grew up as a Mizzou fan, and when I went to Lindenwood, we didn't have a football team, so I have two college football teams. I have Mizzou and I have Lindenwood. You are a true son.
It's not a joke when I tell you the columns are tattooed on my back, and I never thought I'd be a tattoo guy, but it's there. I do have that tattoo. So shoulder blade too. It hurt like hell, but it was worth it.
So you know what? I got mine done, shoulder blade.
Yeah,
I got it done during a radio show. I was doing because I got my Blues thing.
Okay,
after the Blues won the cup.
Okay,
and so during we were doing the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, and I got that sucker applied by Dave Kanoy at the Ink Spot in Troy, Missouri. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't know if it felt like this for you, but he said, it's going to feel like I'm scratching you with toothpicks. And that's exactly what it felt like. And I never
toothpicks that were on fire almost.
Yeah, there was no pain for me.
Really? It was.
You have the columns tattooed on your back?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had no idea.
If I can dig up an old picture, I'll try to find it. One time, the first time I told that to Jim Hayes doing Hot Take Central, they were like, show me. And so I did. We didn't have YouTube at the time, but I just took my shirt off the first time I did Hot Take Central. True story. Just showed him right then and there.
That's awesome.
But anyway,
I'm proud of you.
Mizzou, I am unabashed, I would say, at this point.
So let's first of all hear from Howard Richards, who joined us on the show to talk about Missouri and Kansas.
I think he's a great leader. Extremely poised. The accuracy is there. I think where he's better than Brady Cook was overall is that his decision making is quicker and the ball comes out faster. He's more decisive as a quarterback. And I think if you look at his numbers, he was 77%, completed 77% of his passes. And I think he was about in the same percentage against Central Arkansas. Yeah, those are the things that I think, really being in tune with his receivers, understanding, offensive strategy, and then having that relationship with and communication with his guys in the huddle, and in practice, not just on game days, but throughout the work week. That's where the work is really done. It's throughout the work week. And game day it's just great. You just show up and execute the things that you worked on in practice. But he clearly has, I think, the confidence of his teammates and certainly the confidence of his receivers. Coleman and Brett Norfleet, especially. That thing is working. I think, man, we can see even more of Norfleet. And if you get Norfleet and that tight end group involved more, that just stresses the defense even more. So it's going to create more openings for the likes of Coleman and Blood and Olubide and Joshua Manning. Those receivers are going to get more opportunities if Mizzou keeps forcing the issue with Norfleet.
Okay, so Beau Pribula, better than Brady Cook, stud.
I mean, look, I've had a Beau Pribula Heisman ticket since July. When I was traveling out of state, I found a way to slide that in.
Oh, nice.
I think that there are aspects that allow for Beau Pribula's upside to be higher than what we saw from Brady Cook. I mean, Brady Cook, we really give a lot of credit to him for the toughness that he displayed last year. But if you go back and look at the numbers, and Rock wanted me to put the shades back on because of the bright future for the Tigers.
Bright future, yeah.
Last year, I mean, he threw for 11 touchdowns. It wasn't like a gaudy statistical season for him. And the offense probably, didn't elevate to the level that after his junior year, where he did have some better numbers, we thought maybe they could do. I think Pribula, I'm not saying that I've seen enough of him to know that the floor is as high as Brady's floor was, because I thought by the time he was a senior, for sure, you knew what you were getting from Brady Cook. Pribula, though, I think certainly has the higher ceiling, and we've only seen 2 games of him, but I really like what we've seen from him being able to access that ceiling already. And I think they targeted this guy for a reason. I think they knew when they went out in the transfer portal that he would fit the offense, these quick throws, these timing throws. He gets through his reads. He knows where the ball needs to go. Mm-hmm. He gets it out quickly. Those are things that I think are significant when it comes to how well Pribula can fit into this scheme. Although Skywalker doesn't seem to agree. He says they struggled with a mid Big 12 team.
Well, here, let me, and I don't know if you watched the game, Skywalker. I hope you did. And then I hope you tuned into the postgame show here on STL Sports Central. But the Tigers had 28 first downs and Kansas had 13. Tigers had 595 yards and Kansas had 251. The Tigers had 261 yards rushing.
Well, Kansas had a lot of rushing yards.
Kansas
I know
had
that.
28.
Well, really, they had three, I think, if you
right.
take away the fumble.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, 261 to 3 basically is the rushing total. I'm not seeing now the score is certainly indicative of Kansas being better, but in terms of dominating play, I don't think Missouri struggled at all. I thought Missouri dominated the football game.
I think there was a moment where Beau Pribula tried to lunge for a 3rd and 2, and he, ball popped out.
Yep.
It's a scoop and score. That changes a lot about that final score.
It does.
And it's also like we look at it and say, man, they gave up. The Mizzou defense was supposed to be the strength. They gave up 31 to Kansas. Well, first of all, I think Jalen Daniels is a really good quarterback, and I think we could look back on that Kansas offense once we see them play the Big 12 schedule. They could be a top 15 offense in the country, and it wouldn't stun me. But Mizzou their defense gave up 24 to Kansas. One of those touchdowns they were not on the field for. Beau just, tried to make a play, and they got the ball out and scooped it up and put it in for 6. I would say that after that play, Pribula was pretty much flawless. That was the only thing he did that you could classify as a mistake all day, really.
And Chafe, I don't know about you, but in watching it, I think if Mizzou played Kansas 10 times, Mizzou would win 10.
I think if the games are all in Columbia, I think they probably do win 10. I think Mizzou is handily the better team, but I think Kansas is part of it was the rivalry, and that's why we do make a big deal out of it, because it would have been for just much elation as it is to win it. It would have been unfathomable. Today's Tuesday. I would probably still be bedridden, not doing any shows. It would have been a nightmare. I seriously couldn't imagine having to go do a radio show daily in Columbia, do these shows where we're talking about Mizzou. I am out there as the Mizzou guy, and you lose to Kansas. Look, if they fall short against South Carolina, I was higher on them than I should have been. That's fine. You can make fun of me. But if they lost to Kansas, I couldn't have.
No, you can't have that happen.
So, yeah.